Hi, welcome to Korero Solutions YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us today. So today I'd like to go over a question that we seem to get a fair bit is what do you do if it's your coworker that's, harassing you or is abusive behavior towards you? As the first step, it's kind of difficult to just give you a one answer for this solution, because are they your friend? Are they somebody new that you're just working with? Is it somebody you've worked with for a long period of time? Has their behavior changed? Has your behavior as circumstances changed? There's a lot of questions that I would have to ask in order to be able to give you a one-step solution for this. So I'm going to just take you through, based on multiple different scenarios, what would I recommend first if you've got an abusive coworker? So going back to communication is have a conversation with them. Just let them know that, be specific as to what actions, what behaviors, what's happening that you're finding quite offensive from them. Are they interrupting you? Are they talking when they first come in the morning and you're already working? Is it the language that they're using? Is it the way that they ask you questions? All of these can trigger something in individuals. So we have to actually take a look at what is it specifically that we're finding offensive, and then have that conversation with them. So just invite them. Don't call them out in a meeting. Don't call them out if you're in that pod type setting where everybody on your team can hear. Book a boardroom and just ask them, hey, Julie, John, Henry, do you have a couple minutes this afternoon that we can go into the boardroom on the 4th floor and have a conversation? See what they say to you, because you want to do this conversation in private. So once you're in the room, let them know something positive that you enjoy, whether you enjoy working with them, whether you enjoy that you've had a long-term working relationship, whether you want to welcome them to the company, whatever you can start off on a positive note. And then let them know that your purpose for this meeting is to resolve a situation between the two of you in hopes of having a better working relationship. And then you can ask them, you could start by saying, so what is your thoughts about how our working relationship is? Sometimes people don't even know what they're doing is offending you. So they could possibly say, I think it's great. I think that, you've been a great help since I've come on the company, or I've really appreciated that we've worked together for the last 10 years. So reiterate what you've heard them say, and then you start with yours. So you say, this is what I've heard you say. I've just been struggling with a few challenges, and here's what my challenge is. And you be open and honest and put it on the table. Your hope would be to find a solution to either get them to stop, reframe, reparaphrase what they're saying or doing, and bringing what might be at an unconscious level to a conscious level. So if that's the case, by your request, you're now bringing it to a conscious level. And then, it's up to them whether they decide, knowing now that what they're doing or saying is offending you or making you feel like on the verge of being abused in the workplace, then they're making that choice at a conscious level. So you've brought that to their attention. Again, close off the meeting with, what are some actions that we can do? How can I help you, or how do we work this out together in order to be able to stop this type of behavior? So I'd like you to just take a quick moment, like and subscribe, because we have lots and lots of upcoming videos that are going to help managers who are struggling with some answers, employees, and people that are looking to become dynamic leaders or take on a leadership role. So the last point that I'd like to make is that what if I have this conversation with this individual? What happens if I've explained it, they now know it, but they continue to do it? It is your responsibility as the employee who's feeling bullied, harassed, abused, to take it to your one-up. So whether it's your supervisor, your manager, your director, your regional executive officer, your CEO, your ADM, whoever that person is, take your concerns forward. Let them know that you've had this conversation to ensure that the individual knows what they did or said, why it's offending you or why you're feeling offended by this action, and what your request was going forward. You need to, number one, let management know that it's happening, and number two, let them know that you've taken steps to try to resolve it on your own. But the most important, number three, you're now giving it to them, because an employer is to provide every employee a safe, healthy, and respectful workplace. And if that's not happening, then it's up to them to do what they have to do to right that wrong. So whether they do an internal investigation themselves, whether they hire an external investigator, whether they talk to the individual, whatever actions they do, they have to do something. So keep that in mind, but an employer cannot protect you, help you resolve something if they don't know what's going on. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. And if you have any comments, any suggestions, any questions, by all means, leave them in the comments below. But also let me know what's happened and, if there's tips or tricks that you've used in order to deal with an abusive coworker. Thanks for joining me. We'll talk to you soon.